Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, February 2. The country's move to promote a more efficient use of energy resources has been bolstered with grant funding of approximately $10 million. The funding has been provided by the European Union Caribbean Investment Facility under the Energy Management and Efficiency Non-Reimbursable Financing Operation Agreement. This funding augments a previous loan of $30 million from the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, and the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, towards the country's energy program. The IDB will act as administrator of the grant. Speaking at yesterday's signing ceremony, Finance Minister Audley Shaw said the money would free up public funds and reduce government's bills and oil imports.
Helping the government of Jamaica to further reduce debt and create the fiscal space for productive spending. Also contributing to greenhouse gas emissions reduction. Particularly, this project will support the specific objective of reducing electricity consumption within government facilities.
7 public hospitals are to immediately benefit from the fund through the retrofitting of buildings to minimize their use of oil-based energy. The European Commission's Director General, Stefano Manservisi, praised the government's energy management program, saying the project's objectives were intact and achievable.
In terms of measurable reduction of the dependence, so in any case contributing to reducing the dependence from fossil energy and sources of Jamaica, can mitigate the volatile oil prices, and therefore is a step forward that we have to change radically and quickly, our way of consuming energy.
Members of the Senate have approved the Emergency Powers Continuance Resolution 2018, which will extend the state of public emergency in St. James until May 2. All 15 members of the Senate who were present at yesterday's sitting voted unanimously in favor of the motion. 6 members were absent. On Tuesday, the Emergency Powers Continuance Resolution 2018 was approved in the House of Representatives. The state of public emergency was declared in the parish on January 18 by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Kamina Johnson-Smith, says more time is necessary not only to reduce the risk of flare-ups at the end of the state of emergency, but to build intelligence and address both the perpetrators and facilitators of crime.
In this regard, Mr. President, the voice of the communities, the voice of the wives, the mothers, the girlfriends, the friends, the relatives who know where the guns are hidden, who know that we want to remind them that they can call 311. We want to remind them that they can call 311. The calls are not answered in Jamaica. They are secure. They are confidential.
The state of public emergency has resulted in the detention of 527 persons and the seizure of 12 firearms and approximately 225 rounds of ammunition. Among the persons detained are 12 wanted men connected to serious crimes, including murder and shooting. In the meantime, the government will be providing identification cards for persons detained during the state of public emergency who are in need of one. Speaking in Parliament on Tuesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said the IDs would be offered free of cost to the detainees.
They can get a TRN, they can get their NIS number, they can get, if they choose, their voter's ID, and I believe we have assisted with passports.
The Prime Minister said that upon their release, the state would be able to properly identify the individuals and engage them in upskilling programs.
Those that we have in detention, let us not just use detention as a means of punishment. Let us also try to rehabilitate. Because it's a message that we are sending to them that when they go back to their community, they don't have to see the state as evil, but the state as trying to help them.
New Acting Chief Justice Brian Sykes has identified 3 areas of priority focus to modernize and improve Jamaica's justice system. Pointing to 2 areas under the control of the judiciary, he says steps must be taken to improve the management of court mechanisms and stressed the need for personal efficiency from members of the judiciary.
Managing stress effectively, diet, exercise are all important components of personal efficiency.
Justice Sykes says the third component would require continued capital investment from the executive, particularly in technology, to expedite how quickly cases are dispensed with. He says this is needed to replace the outdated practice of judges carrying home heavy case files, introduce remote hearings, and reduce instances of paper files being misplaced.
And so this is one of the significant contributors to delays, because whenever the documents are not there, then the case can't be heard and it is pushed back for some further time. And so with an electronic filing system, then that will go a far way in reducing that kind of event.
Justice Sykes was speaking at King's House on Thursday at his swearing-in ceremony to replace Justice Zayla McCullough, who retired on January 31. And finally, the Financial Investigations Division, FID, is to become an independent government department. The department now falls under the Finance Ministry. It is to be given greater autonomy and independence, similar to what is being contemplated for the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, MOCA.
Also decided that a portion of the civil recovery proceeds obtained by the agency can be used directly by them to fund projects within the FID that will now allow them to build capacity and meet their obligations.
Finance Minister Audley Shaw made the announcement on Wednesday during FID's two-day conference, which was held under the theme, Taking the Profit Out of Crime, What Does It Take? FID was established in December 2002 and is mandated to investigate and heighten public awareness about financial crimes and their impact on society. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.